What's going on, y'all? So before I kind of go over what my thoughts and stuff for this week, this outlook on, just kind of the pairs I'm looking for and stuff, I do want to go over some things over kind of last week and just this little frenzy that I've been seeing, and it's almost it's just kind of funny at this point. So one of the things I'm gonna start with is like just posts kind of like this, or I've seen them talk about gold, silver. I've seen them talk about like crypto and all of that, and just kind of why it's not really relevant. So I've kind of told you in the past, just kind of briefly how I trade and how I use the market cycle to just kind of help me keep me in and out of price. So even going into last week, I we've been following gold for a long time, like even way longer than this. If I even zoomed out to my daily, but we've been very bullish on this. We've been very bullish on kind of Bitcoin too, until probably about end of the year last year. We've kind of been going down, which is fine. That's still part of the same cycles. Nasdaq we've been really bullish on, and I don't know. I just feel like I've been seeing a lot of like accounts and stuff posting, just people in the community, the trade community, that everything's crashing, and it's. I just feel like it's all irrelevant. Like kind of whatever's gonna happen anyway is you can see this. You can see this from the chart. It doesn't really matter kind of what's going on, whether it's our country going to shit or just anything in the world. Like even so, kind of where I'm going with this is from last week, my little markups from last week, especially gold, specifically Bitcoin, was kind of under the same way. I came into the week with gold was I was pretty bullish on gold still. Kind of I said still going strong. I'm sure my lower time frame has valid entries and to the end of the week and stuff. So like kind of coming into this week, we were on our last little leg because typically all I want to see off of this being stage two, this whole push, each one of these kind of I call them momentum blocks, but each of these kind of touches or pockets, if you will, where price is sitting on the MAs and floating. I usually only want to see about four of them until that's when I'll actually consider price to be fully or overextended, and then at that point I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of waiting. So kind of what was this? Yeah, so this would have been the last kind of push from that. What I had said, and I kind of wrote a big paragraph of this, and this is gonna sound kind of contradicting, but at the same time, I feel like I'll do a decent job explaining this. So basically, what I was saying in this paragraph though was with all of these pockets, I typically only want to see four before prices actually overextended. And what I had said was, I actually ended up updating the momentum block for the new MB4, if just in case it wanted to deliver. So at first I had it right here, and I think this was Thursday. So yeah, going into Thursday, I was like, I was considering these clusters. So if I was to count this whole thing as three, which in hindsight, this price did end up failing from here, but kind of what I was looking for was, let me just finish what I was saying. Whether this wants to deliver or fail from here is currently not a big deal to me because it's not. I have enough filters in place to keep me out of bad trades if this thing does want to fail. One of those things being I would refuse to take more than one loss, so that would be one thing. I'll also be considering, momentum blocks one and two for entries on the 30-minute cycle. So if we're already past that in that area, then there would be nothing for me to do. And literally, as I was marking this, so this is my 5 hour chart. Most recently, I've been using 5 hour for my context, and then my validation frame has been off of the 30-minute, which would give me 5 minute entries. So even just kind of waiting for that. The same time, yeah, this was literally probably 2 hours after that. We had a huge red candle down, and like this immediately is where I re-updated my momentum block 4 back to, feel me, right here, because at this point I'm just like, okay. From last week I was thinking the same thing on Bitcoin. So this is kind of where we was during the week. This is on Thursday, so what's this? Or not, I'm sorry, this was Tuesday. So it seemed like it was kind of failing at this point. So this current cycle that we were in, I would no longer have called this. I wasn't looking for a momentum block 3. So, because we kind of chopping around here. This is actually exactly what I wanted. And then Thursday, I was able to update it. So, Price did end up giving me a validated at stage 1. When I put these yellow lines right here, this is my validation point of stage 1. So this is basically telling me that we're back in distribution, distribution for the sell side. So all that's saying is stage 2. And I'm looking for entries within these momentum block 1 and 2 pockets. That's kind of all I was saying with that. And then oil's been looking really good. I started to get bullish on this a few weeks ago. I want to say, yeah, this probably would have been the first of the month. So, yeah, honestly, I mean, at this point, Price had really just validated me as a reaccumulation model. It put me in a good position to start following. Um, and then we started making this first momentum block. So, since that's happening on the higher time frame, I'm happy to get behind this. And what is the date on this? Yeah, this is literally the 22nd. I've had this drawn out for a minute, and not saying that this had to happen, but in terms of trying to just set myself up to be able to catch moves like this. Hold up, not that one. In terms of just trying to set myself up to be able to take advantage of these buys, it all got to start with a plan. It really all got to start with a plan. So, and it's cool to actually see that kind of play out. Now, as for my markup for this week, before I get into it, I don't think I introduced y'all to this new sexy shit we got going. So, I want to say, I know I've been doing the markups for a minute. We over a year strong now, by the way. This has gotten really good for me. Just in terms of this is kind of where we were at or a year ago. So last year, when I first started doing these, I just really, I knew I did a lot of data collection, and I just wanted to continue getting my reps and stuff, having them in a spot to continue to get organized. Kind of middle of the year last year, same thing. I'm sorry, get a little right English. Um, I was starting to get a little bit more organized. Long story short, like I said, just with repetition and really figuring out what it is I'm looking for. I know I probably haven't shot a video, and I know it's been a long time. It's been some months, but um, part of that honestly was just taking time, spending more time doing this. I also I kind of I realized I didn't really have a direction when I wanted to teach my system, and so in a sense, I had to start to reteach myself just kind of everything I learned from the ground up. So I really do want to get into this. I kind of can't wait for just my blueprint really. I'm probably gonna have I don't know, 5 different chapters, 20 videos total, probably 4 to 5 videos per chapter. It's all finished. It's literally all finished. This is it. Just kind of going over everything, so that I'm not speaking gibberish when I'm talking about my markups and stuff. But it's just about getting these videos out now at this point. I don't want to just set out some bullshit. I really want to take time, get good editing, be able to talk fluently through this shit. So, as I'm just getting back in the flow of being on camera and talking and stuff, mind you, I still work, I still got to trade. So, all of this shit is extra, but at the same time, I don't want to continue to put it off. Today, I'm about to show you why I'm a little disappointed with the markets right now, which it comes with it. I could tell that it's gonna be a slow week, just kind of off everything that's going on. So, what I said with Nasdaq, let me scoot me over a little bit. All right, what I was saying with Nasdaq, I'm not sure how this wants to deliver. I know I'm kind of pointing that down. That's kind of my expectation right now, just off of where we're at. This could very well just turn back around. It's been very choppy, kind of back and forth. Because even when we was right here, what was that? That was about a week ago or two. I was bearish again, and then turned around, went back bullish. It could very well do the same thing. This is just where we're at right now. We're in a distribution model just because in a simple way, I don't want to kind of oversimplify this, but we're below the MAs. Prices kind of starting to kind of validate those. So, but basically for me right now, there's nothing for me to do. I'm on the sideline. I don't even go to my validation frame, which this being my context time frame is my 5 hour right now. So that's just my high time frame. Um, there's nothing for me to do. What I'm waiting for is these four things first. This is what I wait for on the context. One, I need a large buy off for this one specifically because if I want to get bearish on it, I need a large buy off, which technically that's this right here. That's this kind of buy up, which is kind of, it's almost in a sense it's a sweep. Not that I'm over here looking for this to take out this money or anything. I don't trade that way, but more so just kind of, I don't know, just kind of almost like resetting the market in a sense. So got that stage one chop. So this whole thing to me is stage one, where you see this yellow line right here. Kind of everything above this is stage one, and until we break this, which we literally just did, then that's kind of validating the distribution model. So that's literally what I said right here. Three is clear momentum validating the distribution move. So now if this thing could kind of hold its move and not fail back above the MAs and stuff, it'll still be a little bit early because I don't have the fourth one yet. I don't have any small stage ones and twos, which basically that's just these low, in a sense, from this time frame, it's gonna look like the MBs, but all stage ones and twos is basically this. This is stage two, stage one, stage two. You feel me? Stage two is delivery. Stage one is accumulation or distribution. So long story short, since we don't have all four, easy. I'm on the sideline with Nasdaq until we get all four going. There's nothing for me to do. I labeled Nasdaq as C market right now. There's I basically only trade if I'm in an A market. Like I said, the closest I had was Bitcoin B. I'll show you that in a sec. But gold is kind of the same thing as Nasdaq right now. It's too early for me to do anything. So on my 5 hour, I couldn't go anywhere below that just because we haven't had all four of these things. I've only had one of these things really, and it was just the large buy up. Honestly, I ain't even really have that for real because this was the previous cycle. So kind of what I'm waiting for is this. I kind of drew this out a little bit. Just because we're going down, we're below that's what I said earlier. I don't want to oversimplify the distribution thing, but just because we're below the MAs doesn't mean we're in a valid distribution model. I'm still waiting on this accumulation, this little stage one, before I'm even interested in anything. So I haven't even gotten that yet. So this is honestly look ass. I think I put that to worst. Yeah, gold's the worst right now. That shit a D. Okay, so Bitcoin. This now I could kind of explain all four shits because it's valid here. So everything I need to see is the large buy up. The large buy up starts here. You feel me? Then we had a cycle starting to deliver. This was the large buy up. That was number one. Number two was this stage two accumulation. Stage one accumulation. So just kind of validated that move with this right here. We had the small stage ones and twos. So stage two, stage one, stage two, stage one. This one, even with this candle, this shit that's why I ended up being right back on the sideline. Even though this still delivered, and technically this did hold, I just personally don't really like trading those. I was happy to see this kind of fail again. But then we got the same thing. This is a large buy up in a sense, just, you feel me, buying back up, validating that move, and now, boom, stage two, stage one, stage two. It's perfect. This is honestly really good context for what I want to see now. That's literally what I said. That's all we need. Now, it is okay for me to go to the next time frame, which is my 30-minute frame. So then I get here and we're not good. This is what I'd be saying. This is what I meant earlier when there's filters for kind of what I want to go through, what I need to see before I could even get active. And I mean, this is just what it looks like to be able to just sit on the sideline and not do nothing. So Um, Kind of all I was saying was I only like trading when shit's clear. You feel me? Shit's clearly delivering. Right now it's not. It's literally not. I'm not gonna sit here and guess and try to guess when that next move wants to start because it nothing. There's nothing showing me that it wants to happen right now. Basically, what I want to see, and I said this in here, I just want to see it kind of get out of this chop, and then possibly do that. So you feel me? I drew this up. It doesn't have to happen exactly like this, but whether this wants to kind of come up here and then validate something, but I could tell this isn't something I'm gonna be probably trading tonight or tomorrow. Um, so that's that. I gave it a B. I gave Bitcoin a B just because at least I was able to get the validation. Now, if this was only thing stopping this from an A was the fact that I'm not in no type of stage two. Like if we were right here, feel me, Price did all this and then came here, validated that move, oh yeah, I'd be in an A. Even if there wasn't a entry opportunity at the very second, I'd still be in an A market. I'm looking for it right now. Um, so oil has been looking really well. Now this MB3 I could delete it. I think I did. Just the label itself, because I only really keep these when this delivers. You feel me? I mark them on here when I'm anticipating them. So deliver means it took out that high and it never did. So price actually ended up failing. This being Sunday, yeah, price ended up here. This candle alone, we're down back below the MAs now. Cycle's over. Sideline. What did I say here? So of course, yeah, there's nothing for me to do except wait. It's too early to hop on the sell side. Kind of like I was explaining with the gold situation. It's too early. I'm always just on one side of the market, and even though we're down below this, to me that's still not a distribution model. Because for me right now, I think that this little sell off is just for reaccumulation, which basically means it's kind of sweeping some shit over here. That's not my job to try to figure out what it's sweeping or where it's gonna sweep from, but I think that this little sell off is coming just for us to make some new price, um, to make some new money and go higher. So right now I'm just kind of waiting for that. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mind reaccumulation and a new push higher. This same exact thing. So this honestly isn't too bad, and I've really liked GU for the last honestly couple weeks, because before that shit was ass. But I was a big fan of this delivery. There was a lot of opportunity in here on the lower time frame. Same situation. MB3 never delivered, so I could delete that. But right now, I'm thinking this sell off it's been really controlled. Like, yeah, we failed, but now I think we got time to just kind of, you feel me, chop around. This is that. Remember when I mentioned the four things I'm looking for? So these are for sell side. Now the buy side is the same thing, it's just the opposite. So I'm looking for, one's gonna be a large sell off, just got that. Now I'm looking for stage one accumulation. So you feel me, just stage one chop, that validation of the move, and then into smaller ones and twos. So even when price was kind of in here, this is the same thing. Let me move myself for a sec. So this was that large sell-off, had a long accumulation, stage one validation with this move. So that's like clear momentum. Could have happened from here. You feel me? I'm not waiting for anything specifically, but since price got up and came right back down, we just back to the sideline. This is still all stage one. Then we got it. You feel me? Got my small stage two, stage one to stage two, stage one. So like somewhere in here is kind of where I'm looking to trade, and here's where a lot of the opportunity was gonna be on the lower time frame, was gonna be in this part of the leg. Now, kind of same shit. Looking for this accumulation, validation, small stage ones to stage twos, and I'm probably gonna be looking to trade somewhere in here. And then what I've kind of not even recently, what I've always kind of noticed, usually because I trade JU and GU, I know a lot of people trade UJ for the Forex pair. I'm still on futures and stuff, so this is just 6B and 6J basically. All 6J is JU. That's the CF. I look at the CFD tickers because they're actually on time on TradingView. But Long story short, yeah, I'm this this markup and GU markup is usually going to be the same. They kind of run in tandem. So I usually just pick whichever one I like better at the time. I'm not going to trade them both. I'll just pick my favorite if anything's valid. Um, but yeah, I mean that's really it. That's really it. I do want to do a lot better job at you know getting these out. Um, just doing what I need to do. Quit making excuses. I definitely want to grow this YouTube a lot better. I started to my bad. This is a banger right here though. All this shit. But I want to get a lot better with being consistent on just dropping shit. You feel me? Because like I said, I want to start. I've put a lot of fucking time in. Just behind the scenes, my data collection to a point where like I have a system that I'm very confident with, and um, not to say that in the most humble way possible, like it's gotten to the point that this is a gift, not like some God given talent or anything. Just I just put a lot of work in that others have not, and like I said, not to put me on a pedestal or anything, or um, it's I'm really just trying to put myself in a spot where I can let the work speak for itself, cause and then I of course begin to help people, cause I know this community needs this shit. Like I know there's some really good traders in here doing this shit the right way, but this is filled with a lot of people lying about this shit too, and they just be on here talking, and you know you know how I go. But if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Like I always say in my bio and shit, I'm gonna continue to say, if you here now, you early. If you here now, you early. But much love, man. Like, subscribe, whatever the fuck you want to do, gang.